guys, it's Andrea Latrell from Future Icons, and today we have a hot emerging actor. Welcome, Jazz Anderson. Hey, Jazz.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Blessed always.
Well, I know you've been in acting for a while, so tell us how you started in the business.
I started when I was 7. Did the Cosby Show, a couple of episodes. My mom actually had to figure out what she could do to keep a young black male in not so much of a great community or area where I grew up in Washington Heights, away from the drama and what could happen if you get caught up dealing with the wrong circumstance or the wrong people in the wrong situation. So she put me in an acting camp called Peter Scholar's acting camp. It was a summer program that you go away for. And I came back and we did a performance at the Village Gate, or formerly the Village Gate because they closed it down years ago. But I sang the Candyman by Sammy Davis Jr. Now, mind you, I couldn't sing word for lick. You know, I probably had to,
but you faked it,
hit
huh?
notes that like had cats screaming back to me. So it was kind of an amazing understanding of how I even got to be, picked up by management at the age of 7. But I sang the song, and I remember it was a kid named Michael who was like one of the bigger camp counselors, and he was like a friend of mine. He just took a liking to me. And he was like the High C kid back in the day. He did all the High C commercials. So he said, "Jazz, I'm gonna be in the back, and if you get nervous, just look at me, and I'll be there." And he says, just you'll be okay, because I'm sitting there like I can't. I'm an actor. I don't sing. So I sang this note, and I hit the last note. Candyman could. And I was so nervous, so I just see him and I run off the stage and I leap in his arms, and everybody's just like applauding like crazy. And I went back to my table, and new talent management said to my mom, "Your kid is amazing, and we want to sign him." So signed to a management of 7, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't your mom being the backstage mother. You actually really liked acting and pursued it from there.
Yeah, it's something I wanted to do. My mom saw that I had talent, and she just pushed me every step of the way, So I don't want to say backstage mom, but she was a present mom for my career, And it was just something, like I said, I didn't know that at 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 even that I loved to do this, or this is what I wanted to do, but I knew that it made me feel great inside,
Right.
There was nothing else that can make me feel this way, So
it's like falling in love for the first time, but not at 7.
But not at 7.
Exactly,
right,
exactly.
Exactly. You got me.
You're also trained. Tell us about your education.
Oh, I went to Rutgers University, studied at Mason Gross, BFA in theater. That was an amazing accomplishment in itself, because when I went to the audition, that was like my last school choice. I had like a full ride to Howard. Purchase didn't accept me. Too bad for them.
Too bad for them.
Too bad for them. What else? NYU was too much money. Tish was too much. I got in, but I couldn't afford it, and they wasn't giving up a scholarship, so that wasn't gonna work. So this was like the last of it. It's like, okay, because I didn't want to go to an all-black school. Not saying that Howard, Debbie Allen, so she's amazing. So it wasn't the fact that I didn't think that I was going to get the education that I deserved, but I kind of didn't. I wanted to be around everything and everyone, not just my folk. I grew up around my folk, when I was home, so I wanted to see a diversity of faces where I went to school. And I remember this white lady was in, they had like the teacher parent type of answer questions and will tell you. And this white lady, I guess she just knew her daughter was like the ish. So she was like, is there any chance that my daughter will find out about acceptance today? And the lady was like, Barbara Thompson, I never forget, she said, that's very rare. People usually don't find out. They usually mail it to you whether or not you get accepted. So your student has to be an exceptional talent for you to find out that you got accepted the day of. So I went and was focused, doing what I had to do. I had to do 2 pieces, a contemporary and a classical. I did Zoom In and the Sign, and I played Zoom Man. And then I did Measure to Measure, and I played the character of Angelo. And so I never forget when I went in to read for Barbara, I got through both pieces excellently. And so she's like, "Come here, you have to come with me right now." So I'm like, what, did I do something wrong? Is something, I'm like nervous, like, oh my gosh, like what happened? So she's dragging me through the halls, like literally dragging me by my hand through the halls. Kids are looking like, what's going on, what's going on? And she takes me to the lady who basically runs the program. And so I go into her office, and she's like, okay, I want you to do monologues for me. So I only did one. I did Zoom In and the Sign. And she stops me, and she says, you know, your test scores for math are a little low. So when you get here, we're going to have to figure that out. I said, when I get where? She says, don't tell anybody, but I'm accepting you today.
Wow.
Here's my house number.
You were that talented.
If you need anything, you let me know. She says, now when you go out into that hallway, I need you to act like I said nothing to you about this. So now I'm still not really registering what's going on. I'm still not really understanding that I just got accepted to Rutgers today. You know, after this lady said you have to be an exceptionally talented student or actor to even have that happen. So I go out and meet my mom. I said, Mommy, come over here. She said, what's going on? What happened? I said, I had to tell you something. And when I tell you something, you got to act like I didn't tell you something. You know? So she's like, what is it? What is it? I said, I got accepted into Rutgers. She was like, what? I said, they accepted me today. She screams, ah! I come on my mouth, ah! You supposed to act like you ain't tell you nothing. So she was like, you know, excited. And I think that was the first time that I realized that I got a gift, that God blessed me with a gift, and that I was supposed to do this. It wasn't something that I could not do. You know, I think that people are given gifts and you can't do anything else but that gift that you're given. And that's when I finally realized that, okay, I hear you. Okay. I hear you.
So speaking of this gift, you've been in so many films that have been in Sundance, Tribeca, Cannes. Those are amazing accomplishments for any actor.
Right.
What are you involved in right now that we could find you in?
Well, I have a new movie coming out called Officer Down, and actually we got it picked up by Anchor Bay Films in Cannes, which was crazy. And I play a character who is supporting lead. His name is Ellis Dracut, and he's one of the pivotal parts of the story. And I'm just happy to even, you know, have this be my second big film coming right out off of Brooklyn's Finest.
Congratulations on Brooklyn's Finest.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Antoine, appreciate you, you're a beast, I love you. But for me to do this film with the director, his name is Brian A. Miller, and to have a supporting lead again, but not only that, but to have guaranteed opening credits with names like James Woods, Dominic Purcell, Walter Goggins, Elizabeth Rome, Stephen Dorff, Stephen Lang.
Those are big names.
Yeah.
Wow. So does this blow your mind? I mean, is your ego a little bit big now with these big players?
I keep it humble, you know, because you just never know, and I'm far from where I need to be at. So
what keeps you going?
My kids and my mother and all those people who put effort into me to say, I see what you see, and we're going to fight as hard as we can until the wheels come off or until we can't stop fighting anymore. For those people, you know, for the kids who come to me and say, Jazz, we just saw you in a movie, like, we want to be like you. Oh. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, you don't really realize how much people look up to you, how much you inspire people, because you're not trying to be an inspiration. And I still wanted to get to where other people are. So sometimes that's the Lord's way of having you to take a time or a step back to reevaluate and say, wow, I am doing something that other people would want to do, or something that other people recognize, that I may inspire an upcoming actor who is trying to do what I'm trying to do, even though I'm trying to be where that person that inspired me is right now, you know? So
if you have any words of wisdom to an aspiring actor who's either thinking about getting into the business or want to give up because they've gone to their 1000th audition and they haven't gotten a part, what would you tell them?
Just to keep on, you know.
How do you keep going? Just
perseverance, strength, endurance, and faith. Faith. You have to have faith in the Lord or something bigger than yourself. You know, I'm also Buddhist, so I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And a lot of friends of mine, Malik Whitfield, who played the lead Temptation in the Temptation movie, is also Buddhist. And he is an inspiration of mine because he's like my big brother. And when I'm going through it, he calls me, he tells me the same thing that I'm telling you guys right now, to keep going. You know, I was on set doing Brooklyn's Finest, and Don Cheadle said to me, I said, Don, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's not gonna happen. And he's like, well, for one thing, you're here. So it is happening.
It is.
And the second thing is to never give up, to always stay in the game. He said it's not about how talented you are or how big of an agency you have or what projects you just done. It's all about staying in the game, because that day that you give up will be that day that you make it. So I would just say to keep on. Just you know, find something that is your inspiration, like my children or my mother or those who support me, and use that as the backbone to keep on keeping on when you feel like you can't, when you feel like I'm done. I went on this audition, I didn't get a call back, I hate this. You have to, you know, a friend of mine, I called my man, I said, yo man, this is bullish, man, I can't deal with this no more. And he was like, that means that you're right there in the game. Because if you wasn't going through this bullish, you wouldn't even be part of the game. So it's those hard times that you need to realize is actually good times, because you're here going through those hard times. There's people who don't even have the ability to say that they're going through hard times.
You got to be in it to win it.
In it to win it.
There you go.
Yeah,
so how can we follow you in your career?
You can check my website out, www.thejazzanderson.com. And I'm going to spell it for you because people misspell my name and they think it's J-A-Z-Z. No, it's J-A-S. So it would be TheJazzAnderson. You can follow me at The Jazz Anderson, and you can also Instagram me, The Jazz Anderson. So anything that begins with The Jazz Anderson, you will find me at. And yeah, so I'm blessed to be here. Tyler is a good friend, and I've known him for years, so I'm blessed that he even chose me to represent a future icon.
Well, you are a future icon, and we are so thankful to have you here.
I'm thankful to be around a beautiful lady like yourself, you know, all dressed in pink and blushing over here. I don't know.
Thank you for all the love, for your gift.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So continue all that you do, and we are so proud of you, and we know you will be hitting that red carpet again and again and again.
Yes,
okay, and you'll come back and say, you know, bigger and better.
Before we leave, Mom, I love you, and I appreciate you and everything that you've done for me. And know that if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. So, thank you.
And on that note, thank you.
Thank you.
There you have it. I am Andrea Latrell for Future Icons. Thank you so much, Jazz Anderson, and we will see you next week.
Being glamorous is a lifestyle. Be cute. Be bold. Be provocative. Silky, golden, glam.